Hey witches, welcome back to the channel. This is Hekterios. This is going to be our weekly tarot reading for June 26th through the 30th, 2018. And with a focus on the full moon, which is on the 28th. So this reading is basically a nice little wrap up to the end of this month and to this full moon. So energetically, psychically, what I'm picking up on, there's a very intense energy with this full moon. I feel like emotional chaos sort of is coming into focus with this energy. The full moon will be in Sagittarius. It's in Ophiuchus right now, but over the next couple days into the full moon and through the full moon, it will be moving into Sagittarius. And Saturn and Pluto are both in Sagittarius right now. So the full moon will be passing through in alignment with those energies. And that's going to stir up a lot of... this is an alignment that's been going on for several months now. Saturn and Pluto and Mars pretty much all being gathered in the same small sector of the sky. And every month the moon passes by those planets and it stimulates that energy more. I don't know exactly how long this alignment has been going on, but I know it's been going on for quite a while now, because I made posts about it on Facebook and Instagram and stuff for the past several months already. It has not always been the full moon aligning with it. It's just been different phases of the moon depending on what time of the month the moon passes by those planets. But that's kind of beside the point. This month, this full moon, it is the full moon during its alignment with these energies, and I feel like it's really going to amplify the energy. Sagittarius is a constellation that is similar to Jupiter's energy in that it expands and amplifies and stimulates growth and increase. So the fact that all of these energies are there together, I feel like it's really going to like overkill with that energy. And I feel like things are going to be really chaotic and oppressive, maybe destructive even. We might see large scale destruction going on in the world and chaos with this energy. Because Pluto is very much an energy that's a worldly energy. It's very strong. Pluto is about death, rebirth, that deep transformation that really changes our lives on a huge level and on many different layers and aspects. And Saturn is an energy of constriction and binding and limitation and barriers. And the trials and the tribulations and struggles that really force us to evolve and grow in order that we may overcome them. So it's very intense energy. It's very focused. I feel like it's going to almost feel like a war is going on a spiritual, emotional level, and maybe even to some extent on a physical level. But of course, this energy is just energy. It's in the environment. It's going to manifest in each of our lives differently, and depending on, how we ourselves react to it and how the people around us react to it. So keep that in mind. This might be a time to seek solitude. That's what I'm getting like very strongly. This is a time to isolate yourself if you can. Seek out solitude and introspection, and kind of just retreat in that way. Give yourself space from others, especially if you do find yourself coming into this kind of conflict and tension and stress with others. You know, this is not a time to seek confrontation and arguments and that type of energy. This is a time to retreat away from that and give yourself space, because things can blow up really intensely with this energy, especially with the full moon there, which brings heightened emotion and emotional reactions in and of itself. So when you have all of these energies together, it's just really a galactic shit show. So I would say seek out solitude, seek out peace in your own way. Do your own thing if you can. One more thing though, with this energy, I feel like it's going to be bringing in karmic cycles, maybe that have been repeating situations and problems and issues. I feel like it's bringing some karmic things back into focus, or back around again on the wheel of fate or the wheel of fortune. And if it is, I feel like you have dealt with this before, so when it comes around again, it's not going to be as shocking or debilitating or oppressive to you on an inner level. I feel like you have a lot more strength this time to deal with it and to cope with it, and to just not let it phase you and mess with you as much as it would have in the past when you dealt with this situation or with a similar situation like this before. So whatever it is that's coming up with its energy, I feel like there's somewhat, because of that Jupiter energy associated with Sagittarius, of higher wisdom and higher education and higher spirituality that comes along with Sagittarius. I feel like there will be a sense of looking down on the situation from a higher perspective, and from your higher self, looking down on the situation, seeing it in a different way that's not so emotionally invested and drawn into it. At the same time as the full moon heightens emotions and might bring this type of chaos and awaken it, so to speak, I feel like there is a sense that you can look at this from a higher perspective easily if you attune to that. And I feel like retreating, seeking out solitude might be one of the ways to do that. And if you can't seek out solitude physically, like get away from people, what you can do is just focus on your own thing. Focus on, reading a book, or watching a movie, or, drawing, or whatever it is that you like to do. Focus on doing that task and focus in on that solely, and, ignore whatever's going on around you in that way. So that's what I'm getting energetically with this. I know it's kind of negative, it's kind of intense, but I feel like this is an initiation, that there's something waiting for us on the other side of this that is very positive, and I feel like this might be the final time that we have to deal with this type of situation, whatever it is that crops up. So that's good news in that regard. I will say that's probably depending on how we handle it this time, though. So know that this is a time of testing in that regard. So now I'm going to get into the cards. I'm just going to do a 3-card spread with this energy. And I'm using the Lumina Tarot that I recently just got. So I'm really excited to finally be using this deck. Now I align myself with the Most High God and the Holy Spirit Hecate. Please communicate the truth to me through these cards so that I may be guided for the highest good of all. Thank you, and so mote it be. Please give us your divine guidance for this week and for this full moon's energy, so that we can use them for our highest good, greatest success and joy. Thank you, and so mote it be. Okay, so we have the Ten of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. Doesn't surprise me at all that it's kind of dominated by sword energy and very strong sword energy, with the King and Queen right beside each other. So that really does highlight the swords are kind of high-strung, tense energy. So the first card is the Ten of Pentacles. I have this beautiful bear and this bee crowning him. So the Ten of Pentacles is a card of kind of your home life, your family, your little kingdom, so to speak, and how that is a source of protection and stability and safety and abundance and prosperity. So with this card coming up, I feel like what needs to be in focus is your home life, is your personal kingdom. What can you do to either bring more prosperity in, bring in more abundance, bring in more peace, bring in more joy, bring in more stability and security? Or what are some things that are blocking that or stopping that or hindering it or harming it in any way? Because this energy is going to be different for all of us. So think of the energy of this card and how or what is it saying to you? What is it pointing out for you? Is there something that you need to, work on in this area? The Ten of Pentacles is also a card of your spiritual tribe, the family that you create rather than the family you're born into, and how that brings in a lot of support, nurturing, and prosperity as well. This is also a card of spiritual ancestors and that type of energy. So these energies will be important as we go into this full moon and complete this month and this week. So I want to say seek out to protect what is yours, to protect what you already have in some aspect, and to ensure your continued success in whatever way that means. The next card is the King of Swords. So, I like this hawk. So, the King of Swords is the energy of using your intellect. The King of Swords is the master intellectual of the deck. The King of Swords is an energy of using your mental prowess, using your iron will and your clear communication and use of your impeccable words to make things go your way, to achieve and get others to fall in line with what it is that you want. And it's not necessarily, when I say that, it's not in a manipulative way or not by using intimidation, but it's just by the fact of it's more persuasive and convincing. The King of Swords energy is about alignment with truth and with justice and with law, rules, things like that, and using that in a way that helps you get your way. So they kind of have him dressed as like a businessman in this deck, and I think that's very fitting. This is the energy of being clever, using your wit and your mind, and using that as a power, using your knowledge as a power. It's a very intense and strong energy, but it's for the good. The next card that we have is the Queen of Swords. So, the Queen of Swords energy is sort of that isolation energy I was talking about earlier. It's kind of walking your own path. It's being fiercely independent in the regard of, you know, you're not depending on others to you're not depending on others or outer situations to fall in place in order for you to walk your path. Basically, you just walk your path regardless of what's going on around you. You walk your own path without being dependent on anything or anyone else to help you or support you even. This doesn't mean that, you know, you don't have support. It just means that whatever's going on, it doesn't really matter if no one supports you. You can still walk your path. You're still strong enough and independent enough that you can do what you need to do on your own. So when I look at all these cards together, I feel an intense energy of, first of all, with the sword energy, I feel like this is very mental energy. This is very much getting that clarity, getting that breakthrough in your ideas and in the way that you communicate, and with knowing what you want and knowing how to get it, and just going for it, not really waiting on anything around you to give you a sign or to trigger you. You're just basically, you know, clear and centered within yourself, within your own ideas, within your own thoughts, and that strengthens and empowers your will because you have direction with that energy. So I feel like this is going to tie back in and apply to this Ten of Pentacles energy. This is the card of success. This is the yes card of the deck. It's the energy of being supported. Even though these other two cards, and mainly the Queen of Swords, is telling you don't wait for support to show itself before you walk your path. Just walk your path. And when you do that, the support will be there. The support's already there, but when you walk your path, it will become obvious to you. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope that you have a great week. I hope that you have a great full moon, and I hope that you use the energies for your highest good, greatest success and joy. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like and comment on the video. I appreciate that. I love you all. Hail Hecate, hail to the witches, and blessed be.